Okay, so story time today. Yes, my studio was robbed about 3 months ago, and he took about $40,000 worth of gear in a matter of 10 minutes. It's something that I never expected to happen, and it's partly because I am a very trusting person. I've definitely have gotten in trouble in life since I was a kid by assuming the best out of people. I do not have trust issues. I should. I definitely have some more now. But yeah, let me tell you what happened. So I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about myself. I haven't really introduced myself on this channel. I'm Jordan Atkins Loria. It's nice to meet you guys. I've been making music since I was 13. I'm in my 30s now. It's been a long career with ups and downs of creation, doing artist projects, being behind the scenes, working at record labels, managing artists, doing mixing and mastering. I've kind of just surrounded myself by music my entire life. And right now, I'm mostly just doing mixing, mastering, and producing. Although I have some of my own projects that I'm going to be putting out, and I have artists that I work with who is incredible that I'm excited to start showing you guys their music soon. But so I built this studio about 2 years ago, and it's been a dream of mine for the last 10 years. It's filled with not everything I would want, but so much equipment that I've always dreamed of having. And it really was a dream to have this space. The last place I was in was a studio apartment with neighbors that were not happy about the music I was making. So I was a headphone guy. And now I've got this, 20-foot by 20-foot studio in my backyard that's completely soundproofed, completely acoustically treated, has my favorite monitors, and just an amazing place. And so I listed this space on peerspace because I wanted to make some extra income on the side and let other people use the studio because I'm not in here all the time. I have got another studio inside the main house as well. I ran this on peerspace for about a year, and everything was great. Got a lot of new clients from it. Made some friends from it, had some really awesome and talented people come in here, and it was just overall a great experience. I got a message from a guy named Prince who contacted me, and I'm going to show his picture in case any of you guys know this guy, because this is his real picture. When he showed up, his face matched this. So if you know him, he's bad. But yeah, he messaged me and he said that he was looking to see if this was a space he wanted to mix in, that he was finishing up his final song. So he just wanted to kind of check it out before he booked an extended period of time. I did have a 4-hour minimum to rent my space, but he asked if he could just come for 1 hour to check it out. And so I said yes, which should have been a red flag. I have the minimum for a reason. I want people coming in here that are willing to pay enough money to show that they're actually going to be using the space. But I trusted that I understood that you want to kind of test something out before you want to spend a lot of money on it. So I said yes to it. He showed up 2 hours late to the session. So he was 2 hours late to his robbery. And when he showed up, I saw drugs all over his face, and I got some weird vibes. Again, I'm a trusting person, but I did have like some guardian angel in me that said, this guy's sketch, because I brought him in here, and the first thing I said to him was that I have 2 very large dogs, which is not true. They're not very large. And I said that they're really aggressive and that they're going to be outside. So please text me if you're going to be leaving so that I can bring the dogs in. So that, I don't know why I said it. I do know why. I guess I was protecting myself from the weird feeling I was getting, but I should have just not let him in at all. Whatever. He comes in. Generally, when people want to set up in the studio, I need to kind of give them a layout. Doesn't matter if people have been making music forever. Everyone's setup is different. Everyone has different patch bays. And people come in here because they want to use a lot of the analog equipment I have. So I generally need to tell them how to connect their own computers. If they're using my computer, how to access different plugins, how to access the analog equipment. he really didn't want me in there. So I come in, I tell him the dog thing, and I say, so can I help you set up? How are you going to be working today? And he said, oh, I just brought my USB, so I'm just going to plug that in. I know all this stuff really well, so I don't need anything. Thank you. And I was like, you sure? And he's like, yeah. I walk out. I come right back in. I say, you really sure? I want to show you like how you can at least switch between the different monitors. And he was like, oh, no. I already know how to use that. I know how to use that. So I go inside. I leave the studio. I go inside my main house, and I just have a bad feeling in my stomach. And not 6 minutes later, my Ring cam goes off, and I see him walking out of the studio. And I notice that he's wearing different clothes than when he came in. And I notice that he has a backpack now full of stuff, a giant backpack. And he did not have a backpack on his way in. He had just, I don't even know where the backpack was. Maybe he did have it, holding it in his hand. I didn't see it on the camera before, but it was full on the way back. And I immediately run to my front door, open it up, and I see him running out of my front. I start chasing him. He hops in a car, zooms off. First thing I do, I run back to the studio, and I open the door, expecting the worst, and I see worse than the worst because he broke a lot of my stuff. He didn't know how to take the microphones off of the mic stands, so he just ripped them off, broke the mic stands. He took a Sony C800G. He took a U87. He took a CL1B. He took, I don't even remember everything he took now. He took my Sennheiser. I'm a voice actor as well, not just music. And I have the Sennheiser MKH416. Oh, I hope I'm getting that right. That used to be the mic I used for voiceovers. And he took that. He took a camera. I mean, he took everything but my speakers and my computer pretty much. And so once I see everything's missing, I just like go red. And I'm like a pretty passive guy. If you can't tell, I'm not like an angry guy. So it's weird for me to go red, but when I go red, I go red. So I grab my keys, I run to my car, I turn on the car, and I'm ready to just start chasing. I'm probably now 3 minutes behind them leaving. I want to just go chase them. And I turn on the car, and my partner calls me and says, "What are you doing?" And I say, "I'm going to get him." Hang up the phone, and I realize, like, what am I going to do? I don't have weapons. I'm not a scary guy. These guys might have weapons. They're probably meth heads. Am I even going to find them? So instead, I called the police, reported the burglary right away because I knew that was going to need to happen in order for me to maybe see some insurance money or for peerspace to cover anything. peerspace listed that they have $1 million protection for everyone that lists with them. So I was thinking I was going to get covered. But this is where it got really bad and a lot of this is on me, but my insurance did not cover any of the stuff back here because I was not listing it as a business, which it wasn't when I originally got my insurance, and I should have updated that. So if you are renting out your space, make sure you have business insurance. I did not have business insurance. I contact peerspace about it, and it turns out that they do not cover theft. They only cover things that break. So if he'd come in here and broke everything, they would have covered up to $1 million, I think. Yeah, I think that's what it was, at least at the time. But they covered $0. So I did not get a penny back for any of this. Just a headache and a devastating loss. But the bright side is that having done this, it's kind of changed my mind frame as far as where to put my energy and who to interact with on the internet, which has actually helped me a lot. I've been able to weed out sketchier people, and it also helped me realize what was important for me in the studio. And that meant, well, first of all, I couldn't afford another Sony C800G, but I realized also that I wasn't using it that often. I used the U87 way more, so that's what I bought as a replacement. And I also realized that a lot of the analog gear that I had, I loved because of how it made me feel about myself. Like it made me feel successful. but I wasn't utilizing it in a way that actually was helping my mixing. So it's been an interesting journey to kind of realize that I'm now a 95% just digitally recallable analog user. Wes Audio is the company I use. Better Maker's amazing also, but I'm fully invested in Wes Audio right now. And what I'm saving for is the Tubi Q. I want that so bad. But yeah, I changed my mindset as far as how I want to mix back here. And because of it, I've been able to work so much faster, and I've got some amazing new clients because of how fast I'm able to work now with the recall. And I'm just feeling positive about the rest of this year and definitely for next year. That was a huge bummer. I hate that guy so much. It felt so violating. I've never been robbed before. Being robbed sucks. It feels like, I don't know, it made me feel unsafe in my house for a while because I knew he knew where I lived. But yeah, I upped my security, built more gates, put up more cameras, got business insurance, stopped listing on peerspace because they did not have my back on this. Yeah, so that's my story for today. But I'll be back with more plugin reviews. Just wanted to vent out a shitty situation that I haven't told many people. But thank you guys for listening. If you're still here, I expect hopefully only good news in the future. I'm praying for good news. 2025, let's go. All right, y'all.